said, the play is simple. They're already in data center, robotics, industrial edge, car, and gaming, high-end PCs. That's the next frontier.
Why not get into this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just sort of come to realize I still don't really quite get what that chip does to some extent. And I think that's sort of funny that we're 4 or 5 years into this. NVIDIA's driving the market. And I still don't quite understand the difference in the chips. Like, for instance, this announcement, okay, they're getting into a whole new business. I'm not sure I even understood the fact that there are this many other businesses that NVIDIA can keep getting into. When you think about sort of the bull case for the stock moving forward, the question has continuously been, okay, so much growth is priced in. Where do you get more growth from? This seems to be a big driver. I mean, stock was up 2.5% in pre-market the last time I looked. It seems like a real new potential top line for them.
Yeah, they also have tried this game before. They tried to get into personal computer processing chips several years ago, kind of fizzled out. They moved into AI, they did everything else. Now they're coming back with some real firepower behind them, right? They've got more money than anybody else playing in this game. A great stat from Bloomberg. NVIDIA's sales in the most recent quarter roughly equal to Intel and AMD's annual totals for all of last year.
Yeah.
So it shows you they can now come in and say, this is our game now, and here's our growth. Here's where we're going to keep finding that new business that we have to find to keep exciting people and getting them to buy the stock.
And the traditional business has been growing too. My chart of the week last week in my newsletter was just simply highlighting year-over-year revenue growth and year-over-year EPS growth for NVIDIA. Looking at each quarter, you look at the revenue, it's perking up again. Same with earnings per share. The earnings per share and revenue growth year over year perking up again. The growth stock story is still there, and the stock trades below a market multiple when you talk about a growth stock that actually isn't that expensive. I think that's why you continuously see analysts pounding the table. At Barron's, we've recommended it again, saying we still think it's a stock pick. I mean, the NVIDIA story still seems very well intact at this point, and then you just have these nice little cherries on top.
It's the kind of the first swing that NVIDIA is taking in using its kind of super chip setup in a consumer laptop. So basically, it's running a Blackwell GPU. It has its own CPU as well, and it kind of works similar to what you would see out of Intel's chiplets or Qualcomm's chiplets, but it's using NVIDIA's technology. And so that gives it kind of a leg up here. The company says that you'll be able to get up to 128 gigabytes of RAM. That's absolutely massive. It does seem as though this is going to be targeting the top tier of consumers out of the gate. There's already been some laptops shown from Asus, from Dell, HP. Microsoft is going to be launching one of their Surface laptops with this chip inside. And the way that they're kind of framing this is kind of two or three ways. The first is all AI agents, in that this will be able to be perfect for running local AI agents on device using that GPU, using the built-in neural processing unit, NPU, as well as the CPU. That'll make it ideal for that application. The other is gaming, of course. That's NVIDIA's, kind of where it got its start. And then the third is high efficiency kind of performance. They're basically saying that this will get all day battery life. It's using an ARM chip, the 128 gigabytes of memory. That basically lines up with the highest end MacBook Pro. And that costs $5,000 if you want to buy that. So that's not exactly cheap by any stretch. That also runs on an ARM-based chip. And the laptop, desktop kind of market has been broken into Intel AMD chips. It's called x86. And ARM for a while. And ARM just didn't have the support that Intel and AMD had when it came to, what apps could run on those chips. Now with Qualcomm working with Microsoft, that's been kind of worked out a lot more. We're seeing, the vast majority of applications now run either natively or via emulation. And so that gives NVIDIA a boost here.
I've got a couple of stocks which are just leaping today. I mean, extraordinary. I've got Hewlett Packard Enterprises skyrocketing. They got their best earnings report since 2018. This seems like an old tech company that's got a new lease on life from AI.
Yeah, both Hewlett Packard and Marvell Technologies show once again, Stuart, that everything NVIDIA touches or discusses turns to gold. Hewlett Packard, of course, revenues grew 40% year over year. You're right, they had their best earnings beat since 2018, and they announced on Monday they're debuting a new server rack with those servers powered by who other than NVIDIA.
So any connection to NVIDIA, what it means is the AI boom on the stock market is definitely not over. Would you say that?
Absolutely true. I still think we're in the very early innings. Might I even say batting practice of a doubleheader ahead?
You think it's that?
I do, because if Jensen Huang is right, we have $3 to $4 trillion to be spent on AI infrastructure by the end of this decade. That means we're not going to see an ROI on all that spending for years to come. Focus on where the money is being spent, not who's spending the money, Stu.
But don't we want to get some results from all this spending of money?
We do.
Don't the companies that are getting the money have to perform?
They do, but those results aren't going to likely come for years to come. And they run the risk, if they don't spend enough now, they're going to fall behind later.
One more time. What's Marvell doing with Nvidia? Because they're up 16% today.
Yeah, so actually Nvidia, Jensen Huang once again suggests that they're going to be the next trillion-dollar company. They're only at $192 billion right now. Perhaps that's somewhat self-serving because Nvidia invested $2 billion into Marvell, but I think they're on the right track given the focus that they have in their chip designs.
This AI thing is something else.
It really is. Tremendous growth opportunities, but a lot of risk there.
But
as well.
it's a revolution.
It
It's
is an AI
another revolution in our economy.
And it's something we shouldn't fear, we should lean into.
Well,
Thanks to CEO Jensen Huang, the largest hype man in AI, the market is once again dominated by Nvidia. The news. Goldman Sachs analyst James Schneider reaffirmed his buy rating and $285 price objective for Nvidia stock after Huang gave a highly anticipated keynote address at the Computex convention on Monday. Schneider's price goal is predicated on an increase of roughly 35% from present levels. Schneider stated, "We continue to see a positive catalyst path ahead for the stock in the coming months, including greater visibility into hyperscaler capex plans and Nvidia's growth into 2027 and beyond." The analysis. Huang disclosed at Computex that Nvidia will launch a super PC chip that challenges AMD and Intel in the fall. Tech companies ARM, IBM, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, and ServiceNow all saw sharp increases in their stock on Monday as a result of the announcement. However, due to worries about competition, Qualcomm's stock plummeted along with shares of AMD and Intel. However, Huang's remarks regarding artificial intelligence's potential are what the AI bulls are so enthusiastic about. We won't assert that these are novel concepts from the always upbeat Huang. Rather, they are revisions to previous affirmative statements that coincide with a pivotal moment for IT investors. According to Huang, agents will be operating inside every business. Agents will require their own operating system, as every business will see. Every business asks us, how do we run agents safely? How can we create agents to do our own tasks? The planet is no longer constrained by the population. There will be an enormous number of actors. More tools than ever will be used by those agents. Schneider of Goldman believes that Nvidia's new PC chip and AI capabilities will probably be major factors driving the stock in the near future. Schneider clarified, "We think that Nvidia and Microsoft are pursuing their traditional PC TAM total addressable market more aggressively, which could help drive some momentum for Windows on ARM, which has been extremely slow to date given a concerted push with software partners. Second, Nvidia keeps highlighting its cost leadership and data center level performance advantage as a crucial distinction from rivals, which we believe should enable it to sustain competitive supremacy at all but the biggest hyperscalers. Third, Nvidia's Vera Rubin revenue ramp is still on schedule, and the company is making significant investments to encourage developers and ecosystem partners to use agentic AI. In summary, Wall Street is still highly optimistic about Nvidia. D.A. Davidson has the highest price objective for the stock at $300, while Goldman's $285 price target is near the upper end of the analyst range. For the time being, Nvidia's enchanted influence over tech equities and the general market has returned. Two equities that are frequently contrasted are AMD and Nvidia. Given that these two are the industry leaders in graphics processing units, GPUs, it makes sense. Because GPUs can handle a wide range of workloads and datasets, they will probably continue to occupy a prominent position in this market. Up until now, GPUs have been the major processor chip used for artificial intelligence, AI training, and computation. The biggest winner was Nvidia, which now has the largest market capitalization of any firm in the world. But AMD has shown to be a better investment over the last 12 months. While Nvidia's stock has increased by about 60%, its has increased by more than 350%. Investors in Nvidia are pleased with such a high return, but they would be lying if they said they weren't a little envious of AMD's performance. No one can go back in time and change their investment choice. The only thing left to do is choose which investment is best for the future. I think there's a clear metric that tells me which purchase is superior, and it's not even close. Growth and valuation are the two main things I consider when comparing stocks. I want to make sure that a highly esteemed company has the expansion to support it. Conversely, if I can locate a stock that is growing quickly but does not have a premium value, it may be worthwhile to purchase. The forward price-to-earnings ratio is the main valuation tool I use when comparing stocks like AMD and Nvidia because it incorporates future growth forecasts, which are crucial given the tremendous expansion both companies are going through. Nvidia appears to be a better purchase in this regard. AMD's stock is practically 3 times more costly than Nvidia's, with AMD selling at 70 times earnings and Nvidia at 24. That is a significant premium to pay, and the discrepancy continues throughout the following fiscal year. Therefore, it is still significantly more expensive than Nvidia, even after accounting for AMD's 2027 earnings. Now, I think the premium would be worthwhile if AMD has the expansion to support that. However, it is not even close to being outgrown by Nvidia. I am now much more optimistic about Nvidia's future and think it's the superior stock to purchase at this time. The PC business has been stagnant for many years. Smartphone sales took center stage, consumers extended upgrade cycles from 3 to 5 years, and innovation frequently amounted to marginally faster processors and longer battery life. Investors should therefore take note when Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang claims that the PC has been reimagined. Whether this is the start of a new hypergrowth cycle or just another bold technological promise is the true question. Microsoft and Nvidia introduced RTX Spark, a new class of Windows PCs made especially for agentic AI, at Computex 2026. RTX Spark, according to Nvidia's June 1st release, combines a Blackwell-based RTX GPU with 6,144 CUDA cores and up to 128 GB of unified memory, with a 20-core ARM-based CPU adapted from Nvidia's Grace architecture. The system maintains laptop-class power efficiency while delivering AI performance of up to 1 petaflop. This isn't Nvidia's next-generation data center platform, Vera Rubin. It's also not a conventional Blackwell accelerator. Rather, RTX Spark, internally referred to as N1X, is a unique system on a chip made especially for PCs. Nvidia's AI, graphics, and computing technologies are all combined into one ARM-based platform that is tailored for local AI workloads. Transferring AI agents from the cloud to the device is the simple objective. This is important since each journey to a distant server increases expenses and latency. When an AI agent operates locally, it may reply more quickly, function in privacy, and complete tasks without incurring cloud computing costs each time. In order to integrate those helpers into the desktop experience permanently, Microsoft and Nvidia are even developing native Windows security tools and agent frameworks. If the plan is effective, it may put Apple's increasing hegemony in high-end computing to the test and provide consumers with the first real incentive in years to replace their PCs. Nvidia's vision is intriguing, to be sure. However, one possible issue that investors should be aware of is memory. AI models require a lot of memory. A model's memory requirements increase with its size. Nvidia itself emphasized that RTX Spark systems can parse contexts of up to 1 million tokens and run local language models with 120 billion parameters. Large memory pools are essential to that capability. This is the issue. A catastrophic shortage of sophisticated AI memory, dubbed Ramageddon by several analysts, is already plaguing the semiconductor industry. The premium memory technology utilized in AI systems, high bandwidth memory, HBM, is still in limited supply and has become more expensive as hyperscalers' demand continues to exceed supply. Leading vendors have mostly pre-allocated 2026 HBM capacity, according to industry reports. Micron has stated time and time again that their HBM capacity is essentially sold out until 2026, indicating how quickly AI infrastructure clients are using the supply that is available. The general idea is still that powerful AI computing is competing more and more for the same memory manufacturing resources, even though RTX Spark systems employ unified memory instead of the precise HBM configurations used in data centers. Additionally, memory costs are important. Intel is even making significant revenues on scrap CPUs. The concept of a personal AI helper that works around the clock can be quite appealing to consumers. They could be less willing to shell out more money for the expensive hardware required to support it. Remarkably, a variation of this narrative has already been tested by Microsoft. From Cortana to other AI-enhanced Windows experiences, the business spent years marketing digital assistants. Because the assistant's capabilities were insufficient to support their permanent integration into users' workflows, adoption seldom met expectations. Compared to previous prior attempts, agentic AI is more potent. However, customers still require an incentive to upgrade functional PCs. Therefore, Nvidia and Microsoft need to demonstrate that local AI agents are useful tools rather than just fascinating demonstrations. However, RTX Spark-powered computers have already garnered support from vendors including as Dell, HP, Lenovo, Asus, MSI, and Microsoft. They believe it will. The main lesson. To put it briefly, since Apple's M-series processors were introduced in Macs, Nvidia's RTX Spark announcement might be the most ambitious attempt to redefine personal computing. Running AI agents locally might create a new cycle of PC upgrades while cutting latency, enhancing privacy, and lowering cloud expenses. Investors should not, however, believe that success is assured. Uncertain customer demand, growing component costs, and memory shortages continue to be significant challenges. In any case, Microsoft and Nvidia have presented an intriguing new vision for computing. The technology appears to be prepared. Whether this becomes the next iPhone moment or just the next big PC update depends on whether the economics are ready.
Had Marvell on. We've had Marvell on with Jensen, clearly highly complementary, although it sounds like valuation remains a roadblock for you.
Well, I'd say, Jensen's a great cheerleader, and, the investments he's made in the last 12 months have been spectacular. I think his only regret is not seeing the same kind of performance for himself. But specific to Marvell, I think, his comment of $1 trillion is a little more aspirational, figurative, not literative. That would require, a five-fold increase from today's price. But, Marvell's in a great spot in terms of interconnect, which is very important in the scale up and scale out of AI compute. And so, I think Jensen was highlighting the importance of that part of the market, and that obviously includes Marvell.
In your note coming out of the quarter a few days ago, you did say we simply see better upside elsewhere. Can you talk about where?
We've been talking, here internally and with clients, and, the name that has been kind of left for dead in AI is the obvious name in Nvidia. And, they're going to do $15 to $16 next year, which means you're paying, 14 to 15 times today, which is below almost anything in our coverage, excluding memory with Micron and SanDisk. And so I think considering risk reward, NVIDIA's in the sweet spot here. Long onlys are underweight. And I think as we go through this Vera Rubin product cycle, that as the stock pushes higher, you're going to have positive momentum cause investors to chase it.